All right, so this is going to post as 5 games are getting started, but before they get started, I did want to pass on some more news that's transpired since my video this morning. I don't want to sit on this until tomorrow morning, which may mean no news video tomorrow morning. That sometimes happens, and I have to do another stuff instead, which can be kind of fun sometimes, right? All right, Alex Chiasson has been suspended for 1 game by the NHL for the Jimmy VC cross-check. And so that makes some sense because they're playing the 3rd game of that set tomorrow. Edmonton's going to try to score a goal again, and we'll see whether or not they can overcome the Leafs. It really, honestly, it's been tremendous impression on me with what the Leafs have been able to do over the last couple of games. But the Oilers will be trying to fight back without Chiasson for that 1 game. So he's out. Speaking of out, I may have accidentally jinxed the Predators this morning by saying, "Hey, yeah, no, yeah, they should win. They should totally be able to beat Carolina's going to be tired, and Nashville's been doing well." Well, it's going to get tougher. Ellis is out 4 to 6 weeks with an upper body injury, so that's an issue. You can't replace Ellis. You can try. You can't. You can't replace what Ryan Ellis does for this team. And I did think it was entertaining that right underneath the tweet about that, there was a Ryan Ellis account with a blue check mark saying "trade me" and race car driver. So I thought that was very entertaining because, of course, there would be Nashville fans who look and go, "Oh my God, Ryan Ellis just asked for a trade." He didn't. Luke Cunnin out 2 to 4 weeks, lower body injury for him. Unlike Ellis, I can see the depth in Nashville being able to replace Cunnin. But again, it's more injury news. And then on top of that, Johansson's been added to the COVID list. I don't usually report who's coming on, going off, and all that because it's sometimes gets to be a bit much. But in Johansson's case, it's another kick. Like, he has been through the ringer, and for Johansson, who has been having trouble around the net, and here he is missing some time due to being on the list. We'll see how long he's on the list, but it's 3 hits to that lineup in rapid fire fashion, and so we'll see how Nashville comes out of this tonight. We'll see how the blue line does in regards to missing Ryan Ellis. Speaking of that list and people going on or off of it, interestingly enough, for the Pittsburgh Penguins, assistant coach Todd Reardon has been added to the list as well. And of course, they're without Sidney Crosby, who's been added to the list, and we don't know how long. I will say this, the COVID list, they're talking about having vaccinations in the States done by the end of May. And if that's the case, then that's going to change things dramatically. And, fingers crossed on that one, because that's when playoffs get going. So I talked about it before the season started. I said, as we get towards the playoffs, we'll probably see buildings start to fill up. And then hopefully we can have full attendance by the time you reach Stanley Cup Finals. And here I am, still fingers crossed that that's going to be the case. And also, that would mean the border could open up, and then all that stuff that's been building up on the American side of the border, for myself, for my wife, we could finally get some of that stuff here. It's going to take more than one trip. Speaking of hockey outside of the NHL, though, and non-NHL related things, BC is allowing the WHL to return. They held out, and they were mute on the whole thing, but now they're allowing it. So the WHL will, in some form, exist this year in BC. So that's going to happen. And the BCHL is still in flux. There's not been an announcement. Apparently, there's supposed to be some kind of an announcement decision tomorrow. That's the timeline they're giving us. And in terms of BCHL teams, the Nanaimo Clippers owner has decided to sell the team. Looking at what's been going on and saying, it's just not worth it for me anymore. And no, I'm not planning on buying it. I think it'd be fun to own a team, but just because I think it'd be fun to own a team, but I'm not buying the Nanaimo Clippers. I don't really have like team owner levels of income. I nowhere near. My wife and I got a good chuckle even after the live stream was over the other night about, are you a millionaire? No. So yeah. If you want to buy the Nanaimo Clippers, I will say he is saying only serious inquiries, please. So when you post that, people will send you non-serious inquiries. So that's an issue. But hey, hopefully the BCHL is able to come back, and we see some kind of, whether it's some kind of 20-game tournament, something like that. Again, scouts are not going to see as much of this year's draft class as they do of a regular draft class. There's going to be a ton of unknowns, and the draft will get pushed back. How far it gets pushed back, we'll see. But I'm highly doubtful that it takes place in July. I can't see that. I did want to talk, though, too, about the trade deadline. Trade deadline is 6 weeks from yesterday. April 12th is listed as the trade deadline, which is a Monday. And season's end is May 10th. So there's not a lot of time in between the trade deadline and the end of the season. There's a lot of games being played in between. So for Canadian teams that are thinking, okay, well, we've got to deal with the quarantine at the border, if that's still a thing at that point, because again, we don't know if things are going to change. It feels like things are finally going to change, and maybe we'll look at a border opening within the next, I'll say, month or so. But regardless, if that's still a problem, that would mean that for Canadian teams, they'll want to get their deals done by March 29th or 30th, so that the guys are coming, whoever they acquire would be out of quarantine by the time the deadline rolls around. If you make a deal on the 12th and you've got to deal with the 2-week quarantine, that would mean they wouldn't join the team until earliest April 26th, and season ends May 10th. That's the last date we have games. For most teams, it ends on May 8th, at least right now. That's why there's an asterisk, because that may change. So there you go. Just a little news update for all you fine people. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.